Okay, we'll start now with head coach Kyle Whittingham, weekly press conference. Coach Whittingham, start off with an opening comment, and then we'll move to questions with Josh Newman and then Trevor Allen.
Okay, we're getting ready for week 2 of our season. Obviously, a disappointing loss in week 1. Biggest loss is Cam Rising. It looks like he's done for the season. At least that's what has been indicated to me. Barring a miracle, he's not going to be back with us. And so we move forward, and Jake Bentley is our guy, and we'll just continue to get ready and go through the season. So that's where we're at. So questions?
We will start off with Josh Newman of the Salt Lake Tribune, followed by Trevor Allen of KSLSports.com.
Kyle, good morning.
Good morning.
With Cam out, just, how beneficial is it to have a capable backup like Jake, a guy who's been through some wars and, who's played a lot of games at a high level?
Well, it's crucial. And it's we have that luxury to have 2 quarterbacks we feel really good about. We actually got 3. Drew Lisk. I don't want to discount Drew and what he brings to the program because he's a quality player as well. And, didn't take long for us to get to the number 2 guy. And that's where we're at. And we have full confidence in Jake moving forward. And it'll be a big benefit to him taking all the reps with the ones this week, and should be more comfortable and settled in this next game.
Just to follow that up off topic, you're in a situation now where you're scheduled to play Arizona State, but the opponent may change later in the week. If the opponent does change to Washington, have you been given any indication where that game might be played?
I understand that it'll be on the road regardless of who we play. It's going to be at ASU or at UW. And so it looks like the possibility of a home game doesn't exist for this week. And it'll be there. The Washington game would be on Saturday, whereas the ASU game would be on Sunday. That's my understanding.
Next, we'll go to Trevor Allen, KSLSports.com.
Coach, now that you look at Jake Bentley, what is, after now watching the film, you obviously have a pretty deep room at quarterback now. Do you feel good about having Jake as your starter now?
We sure do, and he's got 30 plus SEC starts under his belt and performed very well in the SEC. So it's not like it's an unknown commodity. And we're going to build the offense around Jake now and his skill set, and away we go. So yeah, we feel very fortunate that he's with us, and we expect him to get the job done for us.
Next, we'll go to Ryan Costeca from SI.com, followed by Josh Furlong.
Hey, Coach, how you doing this morning?
Good, thank you.
So obviously, now that you've had time to go back and watch film, can you break down what you saw from the defense? I mean, you get 4 field goals to USC. You had a couple turnovers. Did you like what you saw, or and where can you really improve?
It's a great start defensively, and I thought they handled the adversity and the situations they were put in very well, particularly with 5 or 6 freshmen playing for us, which we feel good about those guys. We're not making excuses or complaining, but those guys that had not played college football before, we thought they handled it very well. Wasn't perfect, made some mistakes, missed some tackles, blew a couple assignments, but overall, it was a pretty darn good showing. There were some real positives there. Held them to less than 100 yards rushing, which is always our starting point on defense, is to turn the team one-dimensional. In the throw game, we gave up a little bit, but not a ton. I think we had 350-something total yards, and came away with a couple takeaways, a touchdown. One of those takeaways was a scoop and score touchdown. Played pretty good in sudden change situations, and like you mentioned, we held them to 4 field goals and all field goals in the second half. There was no touchdown scored by the opponent in the second half. So it's a lot to build on, and a good start for our defense. We got to get a lot better. I mean, there's plenty of things to work on and improve upon, but it was encouraging. I guess that's the bottom line. It was very encouraging from what we saw. And as long as we continue to get better throughout the course of the season, which I guess is like 3 or 4 more games is all of it, but that'll be key.
Next up, Josh Furlong, followed by Josh Newman.
Kyle, before the season started, you said that the offense was obviously going to be a little bit more ahead than the defense, but the offense struggled, and you said that you didn't get the push that you were hoping for on the offensive line. Is that where you see, now that you've looked at the tape, the breakdown came, or were there other factors, and what were those factors that kind of led to the offense kind of stalling?
Well, there was other factors as well, but that was the main problem, is we didn't control the line of scrimmage like we expected to. Credit SC, they did a nice job with their defensive line and their front seven in general. And we were expecting much more control of the line of scrimmage and a better push, and we didn't get it. And that was really the most pressing issue, and the thing that was the biggest, most problematic for us in that game was exactly that. We turned the ball over 5 times. That's the biggest statistic in the game. Is you play a team like SC, you can't turn the ball over 5 times and have a chance to win. It just doesn't happen. So that was number one as far as what occurred execution-wise. But as far as what occurred just in the down after down, it was our inability to control the line of scrimmage, which really surprised me. I thought we were going to control the line of scrimmage.
Josh Newman, followed by Trevor Allen.
Kyle, as you move through this week, how do you kind of operate knowing that, okay, you're scheduled to play ASU, but the opponent may change on a dime at some point this week? How do you kind of go through that?
Well, all the focus right now is on ASU, and until we're told differently, that's where we're going to put the majority of our attention. I say the majority because you still got to pay attention to the other possibility. But that's where our primary focus is, and we hope to find out sooner rather than later. And it would be ideal if we could find out today. As the week moves on, it becomes more of a difficult situation without having some clarity. But we have no control over that, as far as I'm told. And so we're just waiting for a definitive answer. And until that point, like I said, the main focal point is Arizona State.
And just a quick
Next, we'll go
follow-up.
to Trevor Allen.
Kyle, as far as the offense went, I know that there was a lot of things that could be worked on. What really stood out to you? I know that you mentioned on after the game on Saturday that a lot of it was the O-line play and how they performed.
Well, that's what stood out, and that's what continued to stand out after we watched the tape. Is just didn't play as well up front as we know. First of all, we're capable of. We got some good players up front. I have not changed my stance on that or my opinion. We just got to play better, and they are capable of playing better. And I would expect they will play better. There were also a lot of encouraging things. Ty Jordan, our little freshman running back, showed a lot of big play potential, and he's an explosive, dynamic player. The tight ends didn't really have a chance to make much of an impact, but they did some good things as well. Brian Thompson made a nice play at the field. And so we're better than that offensively. What we saw on Saturday night was not us. 10 points and 5 turnovers was abysmal, and that's something that we got to get changed, and we have the players to change that. So we got to get that rectified and have a much better, more productive performance, coming up this weekend.
Next, we'll go to Josh Furlong.
Now, speaking of Ty Jordan in that running back room, based off this last game, were you able to kind of see a little bit of a better look at maybe the depth of who you want to be able to put in that maybe starting role, or you still kind of plan on using that by committee at this point?
Talking specifically about the running backs then?
Yes, sorry.
I would say that each of them brings something different to the table. We'll continue to try to maximize what each of them do. Mekhi Bernard made a couple nice plays for us. Talked about Ty Jordan already. Jordan Wilmore had a few nice runs, as did Devin Brumfield. So they all contributed. And so we will continue to use all 4 of them until somebody separates themselves. If they do, and if they do separate themselves, they'll start to get the majority of the carries and touches. But until then, we're going to continue to use all 4. Now, one thing that was not real solid out of the running back group was pass protection. It was a little soft in pass protection on blitz pickup, and we got to improve there. That's part of being a complete back, is being able to protect, and so we've got a little bit of work to do there for this week.
All right. Thank you very much, Kyle.
That's it?
Sure.
That's it. Okay, back to work.